Hey guys, Fury here. Today we're going to be doing something a bit different. We're going to be watching Zen's first Warhammer painting video. Now, he's decided to tag me and link me a video. He sent it to us this morning, the whole Grit Imperium sent to us this morning, but told me not to watch it, and now he wants me to react to it. So, I've got my screen right here, and we're just going to watch it, and we're going to see what his first model looks like. So, let's just get straight into the video.
So, today we're going to be painting and building 3 Necrons. So let's get straight into the video. So, to start off,
I like that. He's blurred it out. I do quite like that he's done that. And now he's set the opening bit up. Quite like that, to be honest.
we are going to be starting to snip all of these little parts here. This might take a while, but it's fine. So let's just start with, which one should we start with? Let's do this one first. Okay, so we've now got the first bit cut, which is the main body. Okay, now we will use the instruction box because I have no idea how to build these. So, number 1, we get this, and we get this. We put that.
I think I know about this bit. Okay, I'm going to give you some context. Ages ago, when Zen was building, on the back of the box, let me load up Games Workshop and I'll show you what I mean. I don't know what he's done, but I think he's done what I think he's done. We're on to Warhammer. Let's see. Start here. You get the painting box. Where is it? So this is the one he's bought. On the right, you can't see, but on the back of the box it shows instructions on how to build them. I don't think this is the one where he realized how you actually build them. So it's going to be interesting.
Onto there. We go. We get this. That. Okay, so I managed to mess up this entire process.
I thought so. I thought this was it. I thought this was it.
And I ended up spending an hour about on this building time. But my friend, Fury, link in description, told
Link in description. Come on, let's go.
me about 2 days afterwards. You were meant to build it in a specific order, and
This is what I was saying. On the back of the box, I don't own one of these sets. I think my friend did ages ago. I've never owned one of these ones. On the back of the box, it says the instructions of what parts, how to build it. You don't have an instruction manual. So I think I have one here. I've got an instruction manual. So you get one of these in your normal kit, so it's tell you what part to cut out where. It's that, but on the back of the box. But I don't think he's realised. He didn't realise it was on the back of the box. So he just cut them out randomly and then put them together. This is hilarious.
the specific pieces. Now I didn't know that, but I messed up. So I'm just gonna get rid of this footage because it takes like me like an hour to figure it out. Anyway, it's fine. So we're just gonna skip on to the next part. Now that we've got the figure, that took forever. Now the Necron is done, we are going to prime it with some black paint. There. I'm using that Abaddon black, I don't know how to say it.
Okay, fair enough, you can't say. I used to call it Abaddon. It's Abaddon, but it took me like 3 years to figure that out. I ended up having Slime Z telling me how to say it because I didn't know how to say it myself, so... Right, let's keep going.
Here we go. Use the paintbrush right now, that was provided for us. I'm just going to snip the end. Okay? We're just going to get the model. Hold it by little finger, and we're just going to take some of this paint. I'm just going to start painting the entire model. Time for part 2, the base.
Right, I like this little transition thing he's done. One thing I will say, zoom the camera in a bit more. If not, put it on the other side and then have it more zoomed in so you have This is going to be a really bad example. I've got a textbook, right? You'd have it here. You'd put the camera on this side and you'd be facing off this side. So at least your camera is a bit more zoomed in so you could see it. That's just something I would say. If you're doing a video styled where you'd show you actually painting it, is why I don't do it, because it's the most annoying thing to set up, because then your camera is in the way. If you paint the model, you can't see everything. So that's one thing I'd say to change. You just have your camera position changed, or you don't have that bit. But I do quite like the transition part 2, whatever. I hope he keeps this going. Also, for terrain, he's using astrogranite, right? I'd say for this, he should using the back of the brush, or you should just be fine with getting the brush destroyed, because texture pastes, they end up destroying the brush. That's what I've learned in my 6 years of Warhammer. So I say get it out from the back and then maybe push it around with the brush a bit. I just use my hands, to be honest.
Now, that's the extra. Okay.
That's smart. He's using the texture paste with some small pebbles. But I think he's trying to match it too much. This is something... Okay. What I say is, get some super glue, and then just super glue the rocks to the base, and then do the basing afterwards. And then if the rocks are a different colour, whatever, you can just repaint all of that once it's dried up, so it's all one colour. So I say use something like rust grey or administratum grey, whatever, something like that, just so it's all more cohesive. Otherwise it looks a bit out of place depending on what colours you're putting in there. If they're two similar colours like it is right here, it's pretty fine.
Okay, so now we have the model and we have the base over here. I've used some technical astrogranite. This makes it look like rock.
It does, it's
And
actually
I've
really
added
useful.
a little stone that I found on the ground and washed.
Fair
So,
enough, like I
We're
said.
going to wait for all this to dry and we're
Little
going to move
pebbles are
on
fine.
painting that. Time for part 3, the painting stick.
I love this little transition thing.
So now we're going to be using the Rune Lord brass colour for the base armour on the Necron.
For a beginner painter, that's a decent dexterity. He's being quite careful. Like, a beginner painter, I remember when I first started, oh my god. I think I might have one of my models. Let me go find one. Right, so when I first started, I don't know how well you can see this. Yeah, it's not the best paint job in the world. I always use Liberator Gold in my Ultramarines, I still do. It's not the best thing ever. For a beginner painter, especially with a Necron, I think with a Marine, you'd have to do some of the certain bits just right. You can see with mine, on the shoulder pad, I don't know how well you can see that. On the shoulder pad it's not very clean, I only did like one layer. With this he's being quite careful. I was not quite careful back in my day when I first started.
Okay, so now that we've done the basing on the model, we're going to do part 4, shading. We've got the Citadel, Colour Shade, Agrax, Earth Shade. So we're going to put that on the model. Okay, so this camera doesn't really do it justice, but it looks very vibrant. Very nice copper colour I think I've got for my first time.
Oh, out of focus. Back
I
and
done
focus.
alright with the paint job. I feel like I could have been a bit more careful near the darker areas where they're supposed to be.
If you're spinning it round. Oh, I don't have anything for example. Do I have blue tack? Do I? Yes, I do. Okay. So I've got And once I can, I'm just gonna, this is for an example. If you're doing a model, right? Oh, that doesn't fit on top. Oh, for goodness sake. I'm trying to find something to fit this. I'll use my glue. Screw it. So you'd want to have it. This is not going to stick. I'm just going to put the blue tack down. For spinning it, have something like that with a hand. I have a painting handle. What am I doing? I have a painting handle. What am I doing? Give me a minute. Right. If you're doing something that's spinning, get something like a painting handle or anything you can. Stick the model onto the handle like a block of wood, which you can then spin around. Take it like that and then just spin it. Otherwise, your hands are just in the way or a bit weird, like you're twisting it all the way. You can just use one hand and then just move it about and do whatever. So, for next time, I think that would be a lot better. Or you can get an automatic one, but I'm not bothered to do that. If you don't want to do that, then fair enough. Just getting like a painting handle is like £5, £7, not bad. And you can use this for painting as well. I don't use a painting handle for painting. I just have a painting handle which I then painted because I'm smart.
Black, but it's alright. It looks pretty good. We've still got the gun to do. I'm going to do that a little bit later. Part 5. Finishing the gun.
Okay. See? He's quick, efficient, he knows what he's doing, which is pretty decent. I would have said some music here, light music. I mean, it doesn't make too much of a difference to me personally. It depends on who's watching, but I think this is fine as long as it's not too long.
Perfect. So we've got the tissue here. Now we've got the pure silver colour.
Oh, this is for the glowing effect of a Necron. Check the script. I'll check the description after. Don't worry.
Wipe as much as I can off from here, and then as much as I can off here. Perfect. And then we are going to get the model, and we're just going to lightly
dry brushing it. Get a dry brush. Invest in a dry. It's not even March. You can buy a dry brush off Games Workshop. That's how I got my dry brush.
Perfect. Right, there we go. Now that we have the end of the gun completely done, you can see there.
You don't even need an actual dry brush. I can show you. I've got my brushes. I have an actual dry brush. Before I bought an actual dry brush, I ended up just... I used this as a dry brush. All I did, push it together, get the paint, drag it out, make sure there's only a tiny bit left in the bristles on both sides, flicked it up and down, and that was it. Then I ended up buying an actual dry brush. It made my life so much easier. Either of those will work. It just depends on what you can get your hands on, really.
We are now going to go to the exciting part. I've been waiting for this for a while. We are going to now start doing the Tesseract glow.
Oh, glowing orb is fair. That's what. Is that what silver is for? They put silver in that. Wait, what? Why are they? Why have they put silver in that? You usually put a white then a glow. I need to see this. That's in the intercessors. Chorus, why? Oh, Runefang Steel, that's why. Okay, no, that makes sense, That's my bad.
Done. Look at that. Okay. Right. Just gonna get some. We're gonna start. See now, we've got
Bit messy, but
this part and that part done.
at least it's gone
Now
in the
we're gonna do
recesses.
ribs. Right, there we go. We got all of that done.
Oh, we
The
did
whip
ribcage as well.
joint,
Okay,
then
you don't
go
have to do
on
ribcage.
to
I
the
always do.
second layer.
20 minutes later.
And then you can see the general idea. Now for part 6, the detailing.
Okay,
So,
detailing. Bear in mind, he's a beginner painter. It's one of his first models. Building paint is his first model, and as a Necron warrior, I don't think he needs the detailing, but the fact that he's doing detailing, I think, is pretty good for a beginner. Because I tried my optics were terrible, so I just went back over with my crack blue and my intercessor. You can see my optics now; they're a lot better. I don't know how well you can see. Yeah, the optics now are much better. Before, they were like Deadpool. They were all over the place. They went up to like up the face. So the fact that he's doing detailing, I think that's pretty impressive for a beginner.
We're going to get some of this silver and some of this brass paint. Here we go. Now I've got to be kind of quick. I've got to get some of this. Okay, so for everyone watching this video right now, can you go...
Okay, wait. I've ripped him on this before. I'm gonna rip him on it again. The Warhammer Necromancer starter. I've ripped him on this before. I'm gonna rip it again. You search Necromancer on Games Workshop. Necromancer. You end up with a bunch of Middle Earth stuff. You get Sauron, Vangelis of the Necromancer, just a Necromancer. I'm may as well have just bought Sauron.
Watching this video right now, can you go subscribe to my channel, please? It would be greatly appreciated. And yeah, back to the video.
Do that. Go subscribe to him now. Do it.
Let's paint.
I just realised. Has he been using a plate? He's been using a plate, mate. I lost my palette. I found it again. I've been using the back of a notebook. What are you using the whole plate for?
Now I'll just dry brush on the top, so I'm going to use actually the light here.
Again with the camera angle.
Now
it needs
we've
to move
got
the camera a
the
bit.
dark earth shade right there. We are going to use that. The bottom.
Dark earth shade.
Everything.
That's a first.
Perfect. Now we're going to do the last part, which is under the arms. This gives a very warm kind of feel to the piece. Okay.
Something I like. He's actually describing things. I don't describe anything in mine. I literally just switch from scene to scene, just saying what I'm doing, get it done, show what I'm doing. With this, he's doing the whole process of how he's doing it, what he's putting where, the reason behind it. That's what I really like about this. The scarab. He could have just, if he's doing detailing, he could just do the scarab. Just put a dot there and dot there of Tesseract Glow and the Runefang Steel and then Tesseract Glow. Just a tiny scarab there. It looks so good. And then just clean off the rim of the base with black, and then that'd be perfect. Oh my god.
Okay, so here is the final model. It took a little while, but we got there in the end. We've got the green Tesseract Glow that didn't come out too well. So I'm going to show you the 2 other models that came with the set. There's 3 in total. And yeah, I'm going to show these real quick. So as you can see here, I've...
Right. I don't think the green's too bad. One thing I will say. The third one, the rock behind is very prominent. Use a little bit of a smaller one, because I've seen you use like 2 there. Maybe use a smaller one, because it looks very prominent and a little bit weird. If you made it a bit on the flatter edge, it would look, I think it would look a bit better, but it's totally up to you. The green, with these ones, I mean, I say just tidy up there, make that bit black, whatever. If you find a Necron, I know on the box it doesn't really specify, it says just leave it how it is, the whole thing, if I find it. Yeah, I see on the box it's just that bit, it's all green. But if you see with other Necrons, like the one on the getting started one, you can see it's covered in black. And that's going to put me to my next thing. Why is the whole gun silver? Like you see on one of these, I think it's this one, most of it's silver. You can't tell much between the silver and the black. And then with this one, all of its joints are like silver. With this one, most of its joints are just black or like lightly dry brushed. You can't really tell. I think that green, you've actually mixed the pot. Have you mixed the pot for this one and this one? Because these look a lot more yellow than the Tesseract green that you actually get. And I know because I use Tesseract Glow myself constantly. When I'm just experimenting around with different things, I always use Tesseract Glow in anything green. So, yeah, tidy that up. Because you said you were doing detailing. If you're doing detailing, you'll fix that bit up as well. Cable, it doesn't say to do anything there, so fair enough. I'm surprised you did the rib cages. Maybe tidy them up a tiny bit. Otherwise, probably fine. Try and make them a tiny bit more consistent. And what I was saying earlier, get the black paint. It came with a bar in black. Just use that and do the rims all in black. That will look so much better. I'm going to like that video. You should like the video too and subscribe to this guy.
I got the 3 models that I did. Obviously the 2 at the sides came out a lot better than the middle one. So thank you Fury for the input and the help.
No
and
problem.
I'll see everybody later. Bye bye.
Oh, he's going after. Oh, did a base coat with the steel and then the Tesseract Glow. That's what I thought. Yeah, that's Runefang Steel Tesseract Glow. Yeah, what happened here? So, going back here, what you need to do for the scarab, if you are detailing, you may as well do Runefang Steel and Tesseract Glow. This looks a bit darker, that looks a bit lighter. It doesn't entirely matter on the brightness, it depends on personal preference. Personally, I'd say dark looks better, but again, it's just up to you. Have a bit more consistency, because I can see these ones don't have Tesseract, but that one does. And then, again, the rim basing, you need to do that, and the consistency with that being black and that just being silver. Either it was a heavy dry brush, or I don't know what it was. Otherwise, I do think these models came out decently well. Yeah, good job then. Oh, they did the middle one, you didn't add the steel. Okay, yeah. That makes sense why it's not as bright. So, I mean, it's all on personal preference, to be honest. I personally would prefer it darker. I use washes like Basilica and grey contrast, or I use Null Oil or Agrax or something like that. I'll make it darker purposely. It depends on your own personal preference whether you want it lighter or darker. It's only because if you have a big army, you'll be able to see such a difference. That's why in my army, I only have certain models in red so they stand out from the ones with blue. So, yeah. Also, the fact that this bit is green with these two, it's just silver. Not silver, real brass. So, I'd say go over either those two or that one, depending which one you're trying to do. Otherwise, I think good job, Meg. Thanks for giving me a shout out. Everyone who's watching this, go sub to him. Description of this video, I'll put all of his links for his YouTube and his Twitch. Subscribe if you want more Warhammer videos. Go subscribe to all of my other channels. Everything in the description. And bye. Bye. Yeah. See. Bye.